Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, Lady Justice Njuguna rejected the application in which Waititu had sought to overturn his conviction and sentence on corruption-related offenses. The Director of Public Prosecution, in a statement issued on X, confirmed it had successfully opposed the application.
On Thursday, former County Chief Ferdinand Waititu arrived at the Milimani courts for his date with destiny.
Waititu was, for those of you who remember, Waititu was convicted in February 2025. And ordered to either pay a fine of 53.5 million or serve 12 years in prison. So Waititu did not pay the 53.5 million. So he is required to serve 12 years in prison. Now, you also need to understand that he was given a bond of 53 million pending the hearing of his appeal. That is a decision that was taken previously. So he has been out on bond. That is since July 31st, 2025. That is the time Justice Njuguna granted him a 53 million bond pending the hearing of his appeal. Now, one thing that you need to understand also is that Waititu had launched 2 previous applications for bond but were declined. But this time around, he was granted that bond. So if Waititu pays the 53.5 million requested as directed by the court, Waititu is going to walk scot-free. But if he doesn't pay that fine, Waititu will go to jail. So that is what is going to happen. I don't know whether there will be some lesser sentence, if at all, in terms of the fine, because he has been in custody for some time. See, I think there is always a way they calculate that you can, if actually you have been held in custody for some period of time, maybe they wanakupunguzia inayo kama 50 million, but you find that still more in terms of Waititu's capability to pay. So let's assume Waititu hana hii pesa. See, this is the time friends are supposed to come and support. Sasa tuseme mtu kama Ferdinand Waititu, who was a member of the United Opposition Alliance. Do you think these people cannot conduct just a small Arambe to raise this 53.5 million? They conduct Arambe when I was 53.5 million. I think the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka, or rather we can just say that Kalonzo Musyoka doesn't want to be associated with this issue of Waititu, because the moment they try to help him, itaonekana ni kama wame collude na huyu mfisadi. Wajua say Waititu ni mtu mfisadi kabisa. So if they attempt to help him, matters of the fees and the fines and the like, labda wataonekana ni kama they are part and parcel of Waititu and the corruption scandal. Now, again, there's something also here. Let's assume Waititu ametoka. Waititu ametoka, yuko out on after paying the fine. How is he going to associate himself with the United Opposition Alliance? Again, that's a very tricky situation there, because I think the likes of kina Kalonzo wataanza kumlenga, the likes of Rigathi wataanza kumlenga, the likes of all these others, Eugene Omalo wataanza kumlenga, because they do not want to associate themselves with Waititu, simply because Waititu is guilty of embezzling funds, county funds. You see, this time around the DPP has done, could we say, a noble thing, because watu wangesema kwamba hii mambo ya Waititu ni siasa. Ni siasa. Watu wanaweza sema kwamba ni siasa ama si siasa, because of course the government can also use this as a political weapon to silence you, so that wewe unyamaze, you can't even question the government. Let's assume Waititu wasn't defying the government, was just on good terms with the government, because we know the issue of Sirisia member of parliament Waluke. Waluke yeye saizi, because we know the case of Waluke kama sai Waluke akona case ambao ni nyingi zaidi ya, I think fine yake pia ni nyingi zaidi hii. Lakini unajua Waluke alikuwa nje. Wakati Waluke alipovuka kutoka Azimio kusupport Kenya Kwanza, kesi zake zilianza kukanyagiwa. Ilikuwa hasa kesi ya Yuezi, ni kama is like a free man
on that line. So all of us, I think, we need to be honest.
How much have you received yourself?
Yeah, sometimes yes, 100 they give at least 100,000 to each member, or 200. It depends with the.
So in total, in the 5 years you've been here this term?
No, but me, I was removed on committee from 2015.
But if you're against it, why were you taking it, or you were for it?
No, I just get the money and they give me that. Mheshimiwa, I have this 100,000 shillings, and even can you refuse money? No, there's nobody can refuse money. Maybe God. It's only God who can refuse money. But a human being is a human being. So if I'm given free money, then why should I refuse?
The chickens appear to have finally come home to roost for the Sirisia MP John Waluke, for whom free money is no longer a laughing matter. Waluke found himself seated behind the dock, answering to charges on the fraudulent acquisition of 313 million shillings in taxpayer money from the National Cereals and Produce.
So someone was asking, what if Waititu does the same? Waititu toes the line and supports this government. Do you think he case itaendelea? Because of course we know that Waititu was not with William Ruto at the time of his arrest. He was with Rigathi Gachagua's team. So let's assume Waititu decides to support the government. Do you think case itaendelea? I'm suspecting that maybe he will get a lesser sentence. Maybe let's assume we've reduced your sentence to around 3 years and your fine should be 10 million. They will still charge him, yes. They will still ask him to pay fine, yes, but reduced. Most likely that is what is going to happen. But as for this latest development, Waititu back to prison, 12 years sentence, or pay 53.5 million. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.
Thank you once again for choosing YOLENO TV as your favorite political channel.